We said about the market research. All the Filipinos on the Big Island, especially my son's wife's family, hey, you Holly folk never going to eat jackfruit. But we did all this research and we found out that white folks really do like jackfruit. You know? I mean, it's amazing. And it tastes really good, and it's a lot of it gets wasted. So think of products, think of things to make with products that people don't know. In the 50s, for those of you who can remember, if you looked on a package of juicy fruit, it said made with jackfruit. This is back when food was made with real food, you know? And this is the flavor. When you have people try it fresh, or they try the dried jerky at the farmer's market, and you tell them I got jackfruit. My wife is always like, yeah, this is the original jackfruit, the juicy fruit. And then the light bulbs go off. And all of a sudden, it gets juicy, you know, it registers. So we sell we made thousands of jars of jackfruit marmalade every couple of months for a chain of Indian restaurants in San Francisco, the Bay Area, Mendoza. You know,
when's the best time to harvest?
When it's ready. Well, because what you have on Maui is totally different than what I do in Kona. So, I mean, you have to see if you start to smell it. It's a good indicator. The skin gives a little bit, or it starts to change in color. It's a little bit. But in India, I mean, June 6th, I was speaking at the first All India Jackfruit Festival at the southern tip of India. We had a conference and festival, and I had a report on jackfruit and how it's being utilized in every other country outside of India. And there's so many indicators for the different varieties and things. You have to get to know your tree. But generally, odor, smell. Well, before harvesting, it's like another one of those. Well, this wouldn't be urban, but it would be a farm. Take 3 slices above the jackfruit and let the sap run out for a couple days and then harvest it. But more than 70% of the jackfruit harvested in India is harvested half to 3/4 ripe and used in value-added products. Thousands and thousands and thousands of value-added products of jackfruit. And plus, if I do it at the wrong time, or somebody brings me one that should have been on the tree for another 2 weeks, I just cut it all up and make curry. I mean, which is kind of the natural dish of South India. So, yeah, just when it's big and smelly, it's usually So, these other things, competitive intelligence. Well, I asked you, we had before you guys came, there was, in fact, Nina's pal, I don't know if he came or not, did a value-added workshop. And audience playing dumb, and I said, what about competitive intelligence? We don't have any competitors. You don't have any intelligence, because you have to know what other people are doing. I like to take the path of least resistance. You know, you've got to, I don't make lily koi butter. I don't make any butters. I don't make I don't make lily koi jam, because everybody else has that. They have bottled jam. So we started doing syrups to get something different. So we sell a lot of syrups. Right? Everybody's packaging in 7 and 8 ounce for 1 pound coffee. I started packaging in 4 ounce at half the price. We sell out. Can't get enough sometimes. We just don't have the energy to process it. So you have to think all of these things. It's all a little component to it. But we have this problem, and I suppose you probably have it on Maui, where the real estate guys come in with new farmers. They're going to make $1 million selling Kona coffee on the internet. You know, so they get you to buy this farm, and pretty soon the .com money is gone, you know, and they don't bother to tell you that this was a couple years ago. This is 54,000 people selling Kona coffee from 750 farms on the internet. Something doesn't add up there. Don't trust the internet. I mean, it's just an addition to what you have. You cannot rely on it. You cannot count on it for money. Yeah, I'm to the point now, after a lot of years, we'll make $500–600 a month on the internet. We have our stuff on 3 or 4 sites. You have it in Japanese and in Malayalam, which is South Indian dialect, and in English. But it doesn't it doesn't always translate. You cannot count on it. It's just another one of the little components to having a small farm, a sustainable small farm business. The other things are like, listen, my son is a chef at Mauna Kea, and he has to use my weird fruit or I write him out of the will. But we have the students come up with these weird recipes. Now we applied for a couple grants that if they come through, we're going to do it on Maui and Mana and Whole Foods too, who are collaborators, where we'll come in and work with specific chefs. Like on Maui, Peter Merriman is going to work with, we'll create something from Jackfruit, we'll do a demo at the grocery store, and then they'll have to agree to sell the fruit. But I have a lot of students work with these things to come up, like this is hard to see, a fruit terrine with about 10 different local fruits in it. This is a rainpour lime juice with Suriname cherry frozen in little round ice cubes. They serve to our public lunches at the culinary school. So work with those guys too, because often those chefs now, if you're producing on a farm, the students now, they're the ones who are going to be buying the fruit in a couple of years for wherever they're working. But actually this is really good. You add the sake in there and I call it the rising sun. Okay. Just a couple other points you need to remember. I hate it when all the guys I know you each get up and just read what's on there, so I'm not going to do that. But you get the idea, and you have to read, and you have to communicate, you have to use the tools at your disposal, like searching the internet. Read the USDA guidelines for canning and preserving and for making jams and jellies. It's the most important thing you can do. And there's thousands of different sites that have them. Okay. The other thing is that at the Human Nutrition, Food and Animal Sciences Department, that Doug Vincent's now the chair of, they have the same services that you have in Maui. So because everybody here, you guys are going to be so busy now that other people, the overflow, have to go to Manoa. But it's just another option. And they also make some products there that within their department that the students have to sell, which is really good. Just a couple other things to look for. Have you got Ohalo growing? Good. Okay. Just check it, because if not, I'll get you the plants. Since it's the only thing that really does come from Hawaii. There's other little projects besides, you know, making jams and jellies that you could consider value added. This happens to be a function of extension in Aichi, around Nagoya, Japan. And these are fig trees. And every year they take the fig trees, they have about 20,000 of these, and they take them to the old people's homes. And they give the people the fig trees, and they have 6 verticals on each tree in these figs. And each vertical produces about 20 figs, and the people who have them there, they can eat them or they can sell them back to JA, the Japanese Cooperative Agriculture Co-op. And at the end of the season, the guys from the extension go back and they pick them up and they take them back and they take care of them until next spring. And they bring them out to the people. It's just a wonderful little program. That's all. So, but you can think about doing things like that in terms of working with social service agencies. It opens up funding opportunities, you know, so. Okay. Some other more recent trends, you know, the low-quad shaved ice, they started doing it. Here they do lily koi stuff with seeds in it in Australia, which I really hate spitting out seeds from lily koi, so but they seem to like it down under. All the unusual citrus or even rootstock, when your graft has died off and you're on the farm and you find all these little hard, round, citrusy things, which is probably a trifoliate or something. They name them different things in Japan, and then they market all sorts of different products. This is called shiwasa, and only this comes in one little area in Kagoshima. More trend. Avocado oil. This is something we've been trying to do at Kona for some time, and we're moving towards that now. Getting a little closer. We grow and sell, the statistics just came in Friday from the National Agriculture Statistics Service. And we went down because we had the worst drought in history in Kona. So we only produced 660,000 pounds of avocados last year. We brought in 4 million pounds. and we wasted about 3 million. So what we'd like to do is take these 3 million pounds that these big chain stores don't want to bother with because they don't make as much money from buying local as they do imports, and produce our own oil. This is a product of New Zealand, and it's really a great oil, and it's starting to make inroads all over the mainland as well as other countries. Other thing, here's the guava ketchup from Brazil. Bottled papayas from Costa Rica. I said before, there's a reason you don't see the papaya jelly. You shouldn't be seeing these things either because they were thick, not even half ripe and then artificially colored. And like if you sharpen the end with a file, you could like a ninja toy or something. Roselles. Just things to watch for. It's really just being some stuff from India, some of the products they make there. Jackfruit seeds. I have celiac, which is a gluten allergy. I have a lot of food allergies. Only for the last 6 years. 20% of the people get these food allergies around age 60. I just got it a couple years earlier, but it's just skyrocketing. The amount of people are having these allergies. So in the products you produce, you need to think in terms of that and the health market. And so we take jackfruit seeds and turn it into a flour, and that's how I make little flatbreads or dosa or like tacos, chips, or tamales. Only jackfruit seed flour and water. And it's a huge business in India. I wish they exported it so I didn't have to work so hard. Okay. Yeah, Italy always has great products, so if you get to the big city and look at stores, figs and balsamic. Actually, figs are probably our most profitable crop in Kona now. We sell one fig at 75 cents each, which figures to about $7 a pound. So and we can't produce enough of them just for our markets to keep growing, just to try to get them to Alan Wong wants them sometimes, and the guys on Oahu just can't get them fast enough. There's a reason the Italians are so, the reason the Italians are so good at this, so they have an agency that helps them. We started with about 50 varieties of figs, now we're down to about 30, so brown turkey, white Pagoda, black mission, early violet, Bonadra, Masui dolphin, Vienna. I keep going.
Do you net your figs with whole fields, or how do you keep the birds off?
Kmart, December 26th, you buy everything that reflects light, you throw it on the trees. You change that every 3 months. Actually saw that here, when we were driving before, somebody had Mylar tape strung along the field. You got to do it. Sushi, pie plates, anything that reflects. I used to go to the post office when they were giving out AOL CDs. Can I have these? You can take the whole box. Or can I have one? Oh yeah, one box. But those were hanging. You got to change it. With us, we have collegiate and white eyes and minor birds are the biggest problem. And they get smart. So every 3 months we change it. We've gone from harvesting 60% to about 85–90% of the figs without bird damage. So it's definitely worth the effort. Okay, tools, resources. This is about it. Get a pH meter. It's the most valuable thing because you want to produce safe stuff. If you're going to put your name on it, which you have to do by law, you want to make sure it's safe. So I think that's it. Is that it? That's it.